Okay, Brenda's you there? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. I asked everybody if you got background noise to please simmer it, because I am live right now. I gotta get another bottle of water because something tells me I'm gonna need it. Get ready to start here in a minute. I am live. For those who need to know, Ghost, I know you need to know. And for whoever else, I am live. Once I hit the 1 minute mark, that's when I'm gonna start. It's at 38 seconds right now. I'm gonna try to coordinate numbers with what you see on my screen. What the hell is it? Doesn't somebody in Xfinity drive the 5? Yeah, there it is. Oh, Brenda's left. Okay, people out there in TV land, it's that moment. I apologize for my emotions, but this has been building up all week. Actually, for the last month, I think, is when I announced it to everybody. Welcome to the BRS Hall of Fame inductions. A few years ago, I ran into trouble in my personal life, and with the help of some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life, whether it be Star, Cetas, especially Cetas, Ghost, Fluff, Relic, Brenda's, a quick call out to Ump McCoy, who really helped me get it back off the ground. We were able to start the BRS. And recently we've been doing so good and had so much success, I feel that bringing a BRS Hall of Fame back was very pivotal to the future of this series. To acknowledge, we don't just acknowledge your career stats. It is about that, but it's not about that. It's also about who you are on and off the track. It's about how I feel you are as a person. It's about how much you've supported me, supported the series, supported your fellow drivers, and most importantly, your goodwill in this great world and this great country that we live in. God bless the USA. So without further ado, we have 3 levels of inductions tonight. We have leagues, numbers. Unlike NASCAR, we will acknowledge numbers because we have some numbers that I will be putting in a Hall of Fame tonight, that we will be putting in a Hall of Fame tonight, that have great significance, one way or another, to a particular driver. And I appreciate y'all for being here, for tuning in. Crow, thank you for joining, bud. I hope your vacation's going good. Can't wait to see you here in another 9 weeks, see you back on a track. So, gentlemen, thank you who are in a BRL race right now. We got 9 drivers ready to run Kansas. They're itching to get another trophy to add their collection. But before we do that, this is the most important thing tonight, and I'm going to kick it off. And Cody, you are there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. The first induction I'm going to do is a league. It is a league that was around since the beginning. Prowler, what's up? Good to see you too, my friend. It's a league that was around pretty much from the beginning. It was the second league ever created in BRS history. Before the BRS was the BRS, this league was there. This league may already be in a Hall of Fame, which is why I'm doing it first, but I'd have to check my plaques and my trophies. It would be a plaque, but I have to check it. I'm not sure if it is. But if it's not in a Hall of Fame, I'd like to formally welcome the BFL, the Brutal Fast League. It is a league that I put a lot of work into. It is the league that both myself, Mud, Unique, Stealth, Sunoco, eventually Big D, and a few other people that used to run with us, that decided, let's have another league. We have so many people in the BRL, let's run another league. So people can't run the BRL, they got another place to go, right? So, gentlemen, please, for the sake of ownership, please welcome the BFL, the Brutal Fast League, to the BRS Hall of Fame. Our second league that we're putting in. Now, we had 2 leagues with the same initials. Unfortunately, the word Kozad is not a part of this. As much as I love Aaron, as much as we all love Aaron, and for those who don't know Aaron, you've grown to love him just by what Ghost and myself, Cetas, and a few other people have said about him. But the reason why the CRL is going to the Hall of Fame, because the CRL is the 3rd league that was ever created in BRS history. When the CRL came about, that was right about, if not right before or right after when the BRS was created. I feel the CRL, which I'm going to remind all of you, because of you who don't know, and you old folks that have been around here like Cody and Ghost have been, who created the CRL? Who was the mastermind behind the door opening for this league? I will tell you, it was Aaron Michael Kozad. He came to me, he wanted to run a league. He wanted it to be the CRL. He wanted it to be something Mountain Dew related. And at that time, Code Red was a big flavor for Mountain Dew. And I told him, he came to me and said, I want to run a league, but I want you to be the biggest part of it that you can be. So I said, well, what do you want? He's like, I want a league that has surgency. I want a league that has emergency written all over it. I want a league that people say, I got to run that league because that's how we feel about it. So I thought, he mentioned the word emergency, he mentioned the word serious, and he mentioned the word severe, and just want to just go and get it. So I thought Code Red was the perfect title. So from that moment on, Aaron and I had agreed that we would create the Code Red Racing League. So the original CRL, the OG CRL, gentlemen, please welcome the Code Red Racing League to the 2022 BRS Hall of Fame. Finally, a league that was created well before the BRL, a league that was created that had a huge emphasis on getting drivers. Hopefully, he is watching, as he just said, he is here. Dave, it's good to see you, Big Daddy, if that's what you want to be called now. This league was created before the BRL. When Big Dave came over to the BRL, this is a league that he ran. He won the first ever Too Fast For You championship. But not long before Dave, or Big Daddy as he's being called now, was hungry for season 2, some guy named Brutal Bob 78 came in and stole the show and won the second ever championship for Too Fast For You. And on behalf of BRS, Dave, on behalf of myself and Cedas, who helps me run the show, I would like to officially, from this moment forward, induct Too Fast For You into the 2022 BRS Hall of Fame. Thank you, Dave, for your hard work with that league. Thank you for being a pivotal part of the BRL early in the years. So, gentlemen, please welcome the BFL, the CRL Code Red Racing League, and the Too Fast For You as the 3 leagues that I am inducting, that we are inducting, to the 22 BRS Hall of Fame. Does anybody have anything to add to that? Cody?
It's an honor to stand right next to you and put these 3 series into the Hall of Fame.
It is, and again, Big Dave, I cannot thank you enough for bringing that league over and being a part of what we built. You're a huge part of it, Dave, and you know that. That's why you're already in the Hall of Fame. Sorry, folks, I need water. Now, I'm going to do my best to coordinate my TV screen with what you see. There are 12 numbers for 10 drivers that are very important, that have had more than an influence on this series. They've been impactful. They've had serious notes about who they are, what they are. They've defined the driver. The number has defined the driver. The driver has defined that number. And that's what this list of. This is a very, right now, this will be the longest list ever of numbers because it ain't going to get this long again down the road. It was very hard. I had drivers who ran multiple numbers who I felt I had to pick a number that was good for that person. Now, I will let you all know who are watching. If there is a driver who is in this chat and their number is inducted, they will have time. I will give them a minute or so to be able to say what it means to have their number inducted. Does everybody in this chat understand that?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, drivers who aren't here, I'm going to say after I induct that number, I will let you know what I feel about that number, what I feel about the driver with that number, and what I feel that number means to the series and to the league. And first up, folks, without any further ado, let's get going, right? Everybody hungry? Because I want to get to the 2 drivers, and that's where my freaking eyes are already clouded with water. It's going to be worse here in about 20 minutes. First number I'm going to induct to the Hall of Fame. And just like real life, guys, this goes back from the littlest to the biggest number. So we're going to start out with the littlest and go to the biggest. As you see on your screen, it's the number 5. The number 5 has a lot of meaning. Much like Big Dave and myself, and Ghost has been talking about a lot about today, about the rivalry that Big Dave and I, or excuse me, Big Daddy and I used to have back in the day. There is no rivalry that comes even close, but there was a rivalry that I had with this particular driver who drove the 5. I drove him. He was probably almost twice my age, but I drove him to be better, and he drove me to be better. Steltec 10 was an amazing man. His name was Brian Kaufman. And I don't know if he's out there wherever he is, and hopefully he's still with us today, that Brian Kaufman running this league had everything and anything to do with the success of the BRL. He made this number synonymous. When we used to run custom cars, he could not allow anybody else to run the 5. I was a smartass once that said, I'm going to run a 5, and he said, I'm jumping in my car, come to your house, and beat the shit out of you. Because that's how important this number meant to him. And that's how, and right now today, this is what this number means to us. It is the number 5. So on behalf of the BRS and myself, Stealth Tech 10, the number 5 will be honored in the BRS Hall of Fame, class of 2022, on your behalf. Everybody, please welcome the number 5 to the Hall of Fame. Now, the next number that's up is a number that we all know. It's a number that's been synonymous and famous for so long. Everybody and their mothers know what it is. As you can see on my screen, I don't think I have to tell you what number it is. I don't have to tell you the history of it, and I don't have to tell you what it entails. But let me tell you a tale of the 24 card that you do, or the 24 number that you do not know. The first ever current and active serviceman was in the Marines, or in BRS history, he's the first man to ever be currently active in the armed forces, which was the Marine branch in our series, and he's the first one to ever run was Caltech. I think it was 790 was the rest of his name, and Caltech was one of the coolest dudes I ever met, and boy was he a tough son of a bitch to beat. When you go to Charlotte, that freaking guy won everything he got his hands on at Charlotte, as long as Bob wasn't in his way. We had our run-ins, we had our minor robbery that lasted for about a couple of weeks, but Caltech is one of the most honorable men that have ever raced in BRL history. I am absolutely appreciative and absolutely stoked to put this number in the Hall of Fame for Caltech. Unfortunately, I do not talk to him today, but either way, this number deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And Big Daddy, as you know, Dave, both Ghost, Cedas, and Big Dave, you guys know that Caltech was a very big part of the BRL early on. So on behalf of the BRS and behalf of myself and everybody else in this chat, Cody included, everybody please welcome the 24 car as an induction in a Hall of Fame number for the class of 2022. Now, for real purposes, I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this, but the next number I'm going to retire is a redacted number. The reason for this is because I'm not going to be like Vince McMahon. I'm going to find a way to put somebody in the Hall of Fame or put something in the Hall of Fame without the negative drag. I'm not going to go into who this. The guys who've been racing with me for a long time know what number it is. It's the number 61. That number was synonymous, not just because of what it did in real life, and in case for those who don't know, Richie Evans was one of the first men inducted to the NASCAR Hall of Fame for his success and everything he did. 9-wheel and modified tour championships. God knows how many wins. I just watched a race from 1983 the other day at Martinsville that Richie Evans started 38th out of 40 modifieds and came back to win that race and was completely unstoppable. And that's who Richie Evans was. And a man who drove this number made this number pretty darn famous. I think everybody who raced back then will agree the 61 was always a number you had to look over your shoulder. But that number has more modified ties than anything. So on behalf of the BRS, behalf of myself, behalf of Cody, and the rest of the BRS world, everybody please welcome the number 61 redacted to the BRS Hall of Fame class of 2022. Now, Devin's going to laugh at this. I got to go to a number I really don't want to go to, but I got to go to it, and I got to see his face for a few minutes. The next number that's going to be inducted, I know Big Dave loved this man. This man, Big. I can't talk right now. I'm in the middle of something. This number right here, the man who drove this number is somebody who Big Dave loved and was really close to. When I used to live with Big Dave, he actually came by and hung out with us for a little while, and I think Big Dave can say he's one of the coolest men that we both have ever met. Michael Williams, a.k.a. formerly known as Gitswell, was one of the biggest, most influential characters, and I use characters loosely, and men that have ever raced in the BRL. You guys think that I'm direct and I'll sit there and tell you how it is? Y'all should meet Mr. Williams because he's worse than I am. But he was a hell of a driver. He got good quick. And driving the 43, he made it famous. He would even have on his car, fuck off. Get out of my way. F you. He would put everything on his car just so you know who he was and you know what you needed to do. So, Michael Williams, if you're out there, man, I know you're a South Carolina native. Ironically, Devin, same as you. He's probably one of the few people I'll say sounded like a black man but was really white. But I love Mike to death with all my heart. And the 43, even though I don't want to look at this picture right now, the 43, behalf of the BRS world, behalf of myself, behalf of the great C Dizzle 8, the 43, gentlemen, please welcome with me the 43 to the class of 2022 and the BRS Hall of Fame for Mr. Gitswell. The next number I cannot show you, however, because it is not a number that I believe anybody runs on this game. This man, he means a lot to me. We've had a big problem in the last year, but Eric knows he means a lot to me. The 64 is synonymous for many, many reasons. A lot of you don't know this, and even Ghost probably doesn't know this, and I don't even think CDiz knows this. But I know if there's anybody here that knows it that's watching, Big Dave is the person who does. We actually started off with the BRL. We lasted about 6 races before we completely just took all 6 races, threw it out. We didn't count them as official races. And then we went on and we recreated a season because we got more drivers. We had more drivers, and I wanted more drivers to have a shot in the championship, so we just got rid of those 6 races. In those 6 races, Sunoco technically would have had his first career win at Darlington. My first ever league race at Darlington was not a win, folks. Sunoco had actually won it, and it was taken away from him because of what we did. And Eric is your defending, undisputed, I like to do the Paul Hammond thing here, but I can't remember all the words. But Sunoco is your defending BRL champion. That man waited 11 seasons, or 10 seasons, to win a BRL title. And last season, not only did he beat the hottest driver going to that race, Batman Bob 13, but the championship race was at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Bob's most winningest track, and his backyard, as Ghost calls it, Batman Bob's backyard, the Triple B. Eric went in there. Granted, Prowler took the race by storm, but Eric went in there, took the championship trophy, and ran with it. And it is very, very proud to announce that the number 64, in honor of the great Sunoco Sunburn, gentlemen, please welcome with me, the number 64 is the class of 2022 in the BRS Hall of Fame. It's good to have you in here, Eric. Now I can go to somebody I don't mind looking at. This number is synonymous for so many reasons. Whether it be the greatest rivalry I've ever had with a driver, whether it be what Dale Jr. did with this number, whether it be what Ralph Earnhardt did with this number, whether it be what Jeff Burton did with this number when he was a rookie. And Tyler Reddick has been doing wonders with this number. It's just the dude needs to get the victory lane. That's all there is to it. The number 8. Dave, you have been an unbelievable influential to the BRL since day one. The fact that you now have, and to let you guys know, Big Dave is now in possession of a PS4, a headset, a NASCAR Heat 5. You guys have heard stories. All you new people have heard stories, but you're about to see the man, the myth, the legend in front of your own eyes. And I'm telling you, it's a great moment. This is a moment that both Dave and I felt would never happen again. But Big Dave will be on his way back to the BRL. And I'm telling you, gentlemen, it is an unbelievable honor. I am so honored. And gentlemen, please do it with me to induct the number 8 into the BRS Hall of Fame, class of 2022. Big Dave, now you got 3 arms. You're in the Hall of Fame as a driver, Hall of Fame with your 2 fast, and a Hall of Fame with your number 8, buddy. So again, thank you very much for all of what you've done. Now, gentlemen, is where I start getting really emotional. I apologize. I pre-apologize for all this. I've been trying to sit here and think all day what to say about him, and I can't come up with words, so I'm just going to go with the flow. It took me a long time to figure out what number I wanted inducted for Bears. A lot of you have heard stories. A lot of you got to live it. And I think we can all agree, not including Ghost because he's family, but I think Cody can agree with me, one of the best people we ever met in our lives was Aaron Michael Kozad. He won his first ever race at Charlotte in a 17 car and a Roush Ford Fenway car. Well, then it might have been just Roush. He flat out beat me straight up. There was nothing I could do with that little fucker. He took off and he went and he was gone. He was already at the next track. And back then, that wasn't what people did to me. People just did whoop my ass straight up. But Aaron did it that day. And that day I became so proud of him because he beat us all straight up. And he took it, he wanted it, and he took it. Sometime later, we go to Sonoma. One track that you never would think would come down to fuel mileage. And what did Aaron do? You guessed it. He won it off fuel mileage. Aaron is an unbelievable individual. And as far as I'm concerned, he lives in my heart. And he lives with me every single day of my life. And Aaron, if you're up there listening, man, we miss you, bro. We love you. And in your honor, and I think it's right, because when the good Lord put you in a better place, the number that you loved and the number that stood for you was the 22. And gentlemen, please join me. I present to you the BRS Hall of Fame Class of 22, the next number to get inducted, in honor of Bears-2315 is the number 22. Now I will pause for a moment because the good Lord knows that I need to drink to survive. Ghost, you are the only person here and you are an active racing member of this family. I love you for being who you are, and I appreciate you being here tonight. And on behalf of Teresa, on behalf of your mom, behalf of your sister Erica, the whole Penrod and the Kozad family, what does it mean to you to have the 22 and Bears' honor inducted to the Hall of Fame? Hello? Say something, please, because I got to go on.
Never in a million years would he ever think that this was going to happen. That was his goal, was to make it. And he did it, finally.
Well, his number did.
Doesn't matter, he's in there. He's there.
Yep. Okay, well, we got 3 more drivers to put in. I'm going to cut you off, Ghost, because obviously you need to gather yourself. The next number was another tough one. I can't show you because there's not a number in a game that I'm aware of that anybody drives. This driver is a BTL champion. This driver is a PCL champion. This driver won the first ever Kozad Racing League championship for the Xfinity Series. He is a 3-time BRS champion. He is the number 2 man in the BRS. Without him today, I don't know where I'd be, man. Who knows? I'd be lost without him. He's one of the most important people in my life, outside of my wife, my family, and the good Lord and Jesus. He is one of the most important people in my life. After deciding and thinking hard and long, like I did with Aaron, I'm going to induct the number 28 and the big seat is 8's honor, and he will be a member of the Hall of Fame. So, gentlemen, along with me, please help me acknowledge and induct and seat as his honor the number 8 as part of the BRS Hall of Fame Class of 22 into the Hall of Fame. Cody, what does it mean to you?
I mean, you pretty much caught me off guard with all this. I mean, I appreciate it. I mean, my BRS series number started with the 28. I mean, whew, it's just a big honor to be in the Hall of Fame of this series. I mean, I've been picking up work, being your second in command, and trying to do my best as a teammate with you and all this other stuff. I mean, I guess I just need to add a championship now to it.
True story. Well, Cody, it is absolutely awesome to have your 28 in the Hall of Fame. I'm glad you're there, bud. We got 2 drivers left, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I think a lot of people will agree with me. If you go back to the history of the BRL, there's 2 people, much like Bill France Sr. and Bill France Jr., because that's what I've always compared both of these guys to, that are the reason why BRL got started in the first place. Cody will do the induction for the biggest driver after I get done with this. My name is Mud57. I remember Damon going way back. Damon Cox is the man's name, and I visited Damon 2 or 3 times when I lived in Virginia, and at that point, he was one of the coolest cats I've ever met in my life. I'm retiring 2 numbers for him tonight. You see one of them on your screen. The number 57, hell, it's in his name, is the number that he raced, and he made very, very synonymous in the BRS. The number 0, when he went to the 0 car, he became a badass mofo on the racetrack. Mud wasn't the best driver in the world when he first started, but by the time he got done, before he went to iRacing, he was one bad mofo. So, and by the way, Crow said congrats, Cody. I don't know if you're reading it. But the number 0 and the number 57, I feel are both, because Mud was kind of like the Bill France Jr. of this whole thing. And I am just absolutely excited and enthused and very, very happy to put both these numbers in there, because I think Mud deserves it. He made both numbers good. He was good in both numbers. Gentlemen, please with me welcome the number 0 and 57 on behalf of My Name is Mud 57, or the Mudster, as the second name was. Please welcome the number 0 and the number 57 into the BRS Hall of Fame class of 2022. Thank you very much. Cody, the floor is yours.
All right, guys. I hope you're ready for this last nomination that's being put into the Hall of Fame. The first number that's going to be going in, he's right now kicking ass, taking names this season with a certain number. Last season he did the same, pure dominance with this number. And I think he driven it when I first met him with this number. And that's going to be the number 18. And I think the Brutal Bob name will be going with the other number, I believe so, because the Batman Bob's going with this number. Because the second number going in will be the number 13 that Bob made famous in this series. All of his wins, all of his championships have came in that number. So I want you guys to give a round of applause to those two numbers, 18, but definitely the number 13 into the BRS 2022 Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much, Cody. I appreciate it. And
yeah, man.
And to, it means a lot to me. I've been doing everything I can to kick all your asses in that 18. I've only got a couple races left. Tonight I'm driving a 95 because I just want to do something different, and I want to put Brutal Motorsports up on a pedestal in those top 3 coming into the season. And I appreciate you doing that with me, Cody. And I've won 2 this week. Hopefully I can do it tonight. But that 18 means a lot to me. I talked to Brenda's earlier on the phone today, and I told him that, I feel like even though it's not real life, and even though we're sitting here racing virtually, I feel like that when you go into a number, you have got to back up what that number means. And in order to drive the 18 car, you've got to be rowdy. There's no way around it. You have got to be rowdy. You've got to be that nasty son of a bitch in that car when you're on the racetrack, but when you're off it, you got to be one of the coolest cats, help everybody out and do what you got to do, just like Kyle Busch himself does on a daily basis. He's one of the coolest cats in the world. Love him or hate him. He's a very talented, very skilled 2-time Cup champ. And I've done everything in my power to make that 18 a reminder in everybody's head of how awesome it is. Now, as far as that 13 goes, what really helped me out is I was always an Alex Rodriguez fan my whole life. And he started off with number 3 in Seattle, but I couldn't fall for that because I was definitely not an Earnhardt fan, unlike Big Dave was. So I chose, when he went to the 13, I was like, you know what? That number has been good for me. Some of the best days in my life have happened on Friday the 13th, and that's no lie. That number has been synonymous, and Brenda's agreed with me that I have defined the 13, and the 13 has defined me. So on behalf of the class of 2022, for the numbers, along with the BFL, Too Fast For You, and CRL, I present to you the 5, the 24, the 61 redacted, 43, 8, 64, 22, 28, 57, 0, 18, and 13, gentlemen. Those are the numbers that are retired. Now, I will say there is a little asterisk next to all these numbers. Okay, so this is going to go into next season, and I've already talked to Brenda's about this. In order for anybody to drive a retired number in a BRS, and this is the clause, you either A, the driver themselves in which that number is retired for, they come back and race, like Big Dave with the 8, for example, or that driver gives their blessing to the driver who will be taking over that number in any given season. So it is without, and I'm going to try not to be emotional when I say this, it is absolutely honorable for me to do this. That Brenda's, I give you all the blessings in the world, buddy, to run that 13 car next season if Big Dave comes back. I feel that you'll fill the shoes, and like I told you on the phone, I don't know if I'd want anybody else running that 13, not named Brenda's Beaver. So you got my complete blessings, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And that leaves one number, right, Ghost? I feel deep down that you are right now the best that you've ever been in your career. And you trying to take that 18 car over, I may have to nudge a little on the shoulder and say, you know what's up, right? Look at the win count. Look at the top 5s. Look at those Xfinity numbers. I'm 26 for 26 or 27 for 27 in top 5s. You got a lot to live up to. But Mr. Penrod, I give you nothing but my complete blessings to run that 18 car next season. I feel that you will do well. Just do you, man. That's all I want you to do in that car. You don't live up to expectations, so what? Just do you, show up, drive hard, and race, because I do that every night of my life. So you got my blessings, Dave. Okay, last but not least, gentlemen, we're about 28 minutes into this. 2 drivers. Are you guys ready to have 2 drivers change your legacy in your life forever? Once I say your name and I induct you in, you do realize that you will never be the same. First off, I can't change his career online, but I can change his legacy. If I haven't said it once before, and I've said it 100 times, Bears was very influential to me. He was my friend. He was my cult driver. He was a teammate. He was admin. He was a brother. He was family. He was blood. He was everything. Aaron Michael Kozad is one of the biggest yet smallest people to ever race in the BRL. I worked so hard with him because all he wanted to do was be better than me. I was his goal. I was his dream, and the stats that I put up was his mark. I don't know what else to say about this kid that I haven't already said, but one of the 2 drivers going to the Hall of Fame tonight will be Aaron Michael Kozad. It's long overdue. He should have been in long before now. And I'm absolutely, honestly upset with myself that it took me this long to do it. Teresa, if you're watching, when I get around to it, there will be a plaque. And it will be sent to you in Aaron's honor. You, Teresa, Dave's mom, Erica, the Penrod family, the Kozad family, you guys really need to realize what Aaron meant to me. I know every single time Dave has told me before, just when you get tears out of me and you put it up a level, you always find another way to push me a little bit further. And you know what? I've been sitting here crying all day because I didn't know what I was going to say about Aaron. Aaron, I love you, man. I love you with all my heart. I'm sorry that it's taken this long, and it's taken a very long time to put you in. But there's only one other person more than you that deserves this spot, and they're going to be getting it here in a minute. But Aaron, man, I am absolutely honored, appalled, and thrilled to call you my friend, to call you my brother, to call you family, to call you my blood, and to actually have you be a friend with me, just like they do in the U.S. Open when they go up there in the green coats. They wear their green coats, or the Saturday Night Live, the 7 show club, or whatever they call it, the 5-time club. Just like in the NFL when you get those brown, ugly-looking vanilla-type coats. You be standing up there with me, Aaron. When my day comes and the good Lord takes me, you and I will be standing there with our BRL coats, our BRS coats on, and a Hall of Fame, buddy, because you, as of this moment right now, this second, Aaron, you are a member of the BRS Hall of Fame class of 2022. Everybody, if you have got something to say, please say it, because this kid deserves a Hall of Fame like no other. Everybody, please welcome me, officially, Bears-2315, Aaron Michael Kozad, as a member of the BRS Hall of Fame class of 2022. Dave, feel free to say something, or anybody else. Cody?
Wasn't long overdue there, Bob.
Go ahead.
Look at the year, sir.
Yep.
What more fitting year than for Aaron Michael Kozad to be inducted into the BRS Hall of Fame in the year of 2022? It is, on behalf of the family, thank you for inducting him. And we appreciate everything you did for my brother, my blood. You gave him a lot more life than you think you did. You made his dream come true, and you keep making his dreams come true. It's all up to you. It's all up to Cody. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. I'm pretty sure if my aunt was sitting right by me, she would have some thoughtful words for you. But we thank you from the bottom of my heart that Aaron is right where he belongs.
Cody, you've known Aaron longer than anybody in here not named Ghost. Is there anything you'd like to add? Cody?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Damn, I was talking the whole time and my mic was muted. My apologies. I feel great to see Aaron's name get put into this. I call him Aaron with the 20 names because that man has changed his PSN name more than anything.
True story.
First race I ever raced with him, he won Talladega. Like Bob said, he beat Bob straight up at Charlotte. He won on fuel miles at a road course. And it's just great to see him be part of this after everything he has done in the series that a lot of people will never see. So, rest in peace, Aaron. God bless your soul.
Is there anything anybody else would like to add, or are we good on Aaron? We good? Okay, well, this ain't going to get any easier. I will announce that right now this driver is in this party chat. And he's got no damn clue what's about to happen. He's already made his legacy. But this alone right here will stand above and beyond any accomplishment that he's ever done in his career. And for those who are watching my broadcast, you're about to see who I'm going to go to, because I'm going to go to the car that he's been running this season. Cody, it is my honor to announce a 3-time BRS champion. My best friend. Biggest person in my life, and I'm not talking physically, I'm talking emotionally and mentally and socially. You are, there's so many words that I just wish I could describe you as, and I can't. I have fought real hard with this about why haven't you been here yet. You know, your BTL championship meant so much to you. I remember that race like it was yesterday. First time you'd ever won a BRS title at all, we're at Phoenix for the championship race with the trucks. Bob was in a 99 truck, and I think Cody was in a 38, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sitting here dominating it, running away with it like no other, like what Bob does, right? That's what Bob does more times than not. He runs away with races. And this time, that's exactly what I did. I'm thinking, man, boy, do I get a truck tonight. This is what Ghost keeps telling people. Wait till Brutal comes out. Wait till Bob's going for a championship. Then you'll see what he's really made of. Well, Ghost, I did exactly that. I think you were part of the race as well, if I'm not mistaken. The race came down to fuel. I was literally a lap and a half away from winning my first ever truck championship in the BTL Season 1. But this little mofo has to show up in a BTL, be Mr. Strategist. As I call him, he is the best strategist that I have ever raced with. He is one of the greatest racers on track when it comes to conserving fuel, when it comes to conserving tires, although he is better at fuel than he is tires. But we won't talk about the Canadian Tire race the other night. We'll skip that one. But this man has done everything and anything to put himself in victory lane. I've raced with this dude since 2012. Thank you, Instance Classic, for bringing me in, because this wouldn't even be happening if it weren't for you. And I remember when I first met Cody, he was a part of Dew Crew. And it was all about him and Poe, the Izzles, as I called them, the Bro Izzles, were sitting there trying to win races, trying to win championships. They were very strong at Daytona, very strong at Talladega, with help of Aaron, I might add. And Cody made a huge impact in the BRS and what they had over there in that league. And Cody brought his greatness. Cody brought his competitiveness, his loveness for the sport. And everything that Cody presents is everything you want in a friend, everything you want in a brother, and most importantly, Cody and I, for the first time in our histories, in our careers, we're about to be co-owners for the first time and own the Owners' Championship in 2022 for BRS. And not only does that excite me that I get to win a championship with Cody, but it's something that we built together. It's something that we were hands-on about who we wanted as teammates. And fortunately, Cody's been helping me out at BMS to make BMS what it is. The BMS has won quite a few championships. But Cody, man, I love you. I absolutely love you. I don't care what people say about me telling you I love you, but I fucking love you. You are an amazing individual. You're an unbelievable driver compared to who you used to be. You are way better than what you used to be. And I've raced with you on this track, to talk to you as a friend, to be able to call you up even on the weekends. I know it bugs you because you don't want it, but man, I love you, Cody, because you are everything we want in a driver. You single-handedly have taken BRS and you have pushed it up at least probably 5 levels on its own, just with you being here. The greatest decision of my life was calling you, asking you, with my online life anyway, asking you to be a part of this, Cody. It is my honor and privilege. The big C Dizzle 8. I officially induct you into the BRS Hall of Fame, class of 2022. Cedas, welcome to the group, man. I love you. It's overdue. The floor is yours, bud.
I'm really going to say this right now. I'm going to pull Brad Keselowski. Bob, you're an ass. I wasn't expecting this.
You earned it. You deserve it.
You son of a bitch. Wow. Well, I appreciate it, boss. I'm glad to be in this Hall of Fame. I guess I get to look at your plaque too. I mean, it's like right next to my office where you call me 24/7. About to disconnect my phone, send you the phone bill. I mean, we had a rough year the one time. I gave you a call to come back, because I missed everyone, and you and I had a bridge to build over. We knew each other for too long. Man, it's hard to talk.
I want to ask two questions right now who are in this room. Avenger, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Avenger, you are one of the biggest pieces to the BRS to why we're able to be as strong as we are today, and I thank you for that. I've called you 100 times and told you how much I appreciate you. But if there's one thing that you appreciate, just as much as you appreciate me and what I do for this series and these leagues, I know you appreciate Cody. And you think the world of Cody. So as a fan looking outside in, if you will, you are a C-Dizzle fan, are you not?
I sure am.
How does it feel to have one of your favorite drivers into the Hall of Fame?
It's great. I didn't expect it. It's
you want to say it. You want to say it. Go ahead, say it. I know you want to say it.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, you want to say FDR, baby. Come on, say it, Avenger.
I am an employee of his at FDR. But yeah, no, congratulations. It's awesome.
Star, I know you and Cody have really been tight for a while. What does this mean to you, seeing Cody going to the Hall of Fame?
Hell yeah. Because he has taught me a lot about strategizing just by being out there with him.
I have other comments from other people. Prowler says, good job, Diz. Awesome. Big Dave says, congratulations, Mr. C-Dizzle Drip Drip.
Cody.
So guys,
I appreciate it, guys.
You do realize, Cody, that your legacy has officially changed right now. You are no longer a 3-time BRS champion and assistant head honcho for BRS. You are now the Hall of Fame 3-time BRS champion, the Big C-Dizzle 8.
Guess I better give it a good old whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Gentlemen, I know we
throw in Hall of Fame Big Booty Daddy into your intro.
Oh, you guys want the good stuff. Big Booty Daddy. Woo! Big pump. Woo! Acknowledge the woo! Hall of Fame, baby. Woo!
Okay, well,
now I'm getting ready to kick all your asses at Kansas. Woo!
I didn't realize I put Ric Flair into the BRS Hall of Fame. I'm just saying. Ghost, I know you've known Cody for a long time, but real quick here, you got something to say?
The ultimate opportunist, the Mr. Strategy himself, finally gets inducted into the BRS Hall of Fame. The only thing I can say is congratulations, Cody. It's been a long time coming, man. You deserve it, for sure. You've done things in the BRS that nobody would even see possible other than maybe Bob, because he's always instilled faith in you. Your creative mind, the way you think, it just clicks. It's good for everybody. So welcome, man. Good job in being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, I know we went over. We do have a race at Kansas. The reason why this was done tonight is because if you all start watching our races next week, it's going to be time to get down to the brass tacks, if you will. We got 3 races next week. Those 3 races will decide who our championship 5 are. Those 5 will battle out for the season 12 BRL championship And I know one driver plans on being there, and he's got 8 of them already looking for number 9. But we've got a lot of drivers who are hungry, looking for their first ever BRL title. You can win your BRL titles all day long. You want to win Xfinity? You go right ahead. But you know, Big Dave knows, Prowler knows, Cetus, the Hall of Famer, Cody Long knows, the Hall of Famer Aaron Michael Colzad, he knows, David Penrod knows. What's up, bitches? The BRL Championship, 3 weeks from tonight. 3 weeks, fellas. 3 weeks we will decide the BRL champion. Will Cody Long add another list to his Hall of Fame status? We will see. Time will tell. But for right now, folks, we're going to take a minor break. We're going to get ready for the Kansas race. We got 134 laps at one of the best tracks to race, High Groove. Handsome Harry would probably love that track today if he was running, or as Richard Petty would say, at least you ain't got fire to go to the wall because you're running that high line. And that's what we're going to be doing all night, except maybe Relic, because Relic's hard-headed, just like Carl Edwards was. Carl would never run a high line. That pissed me off so much, but that's who Relic is. So in honor of the Too Fast For You League, Big Dave, number 8, buddy, Big Dave, 8, Too Fast, BFL, CRL, all these other numbers that I deducted because I put my notebook away. And to one of the greatest people in the world that I've ever met, Aaron, we love you, bro. You're a Hall of Famer today. Teresa, I hope you're happy if you were watching this. The Penrod and Colzad family, this all goes out to you because that kid was one of the coolest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life, and he will forever be a part of my heart. And not just him, but the biggest, the most acknowledged sack in the history of the BRS is now in the Hall of Fame. Mr. Cody Long himself. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. We will be back momentarily with our BRL race at Kansas. Hope you all watch.